Brought to you by Diversity Unlimited.
Well, welcome to the Nickel and Dime Press video page where we strive to help you avoid getting nickeled and dimed to death by life, and instead to learn to nickel and dime life back, where we know if you mind the pennies, the dollars will follow. Please remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with all your friends. Remember, it's completely free and tax-free for you to do so. So I thank you, and it helps me to know that you love me, that you really, really love me. So this is the high school tax class, This is the high school tax class, part 2, and I'm your host, John Rock, with Diversity Unlimited Accounting and Tax. In part 1 of the series, I covered the IRS Form W2, the Employee's Withholding Certificate, where I introduced you to the form you will have to fill out every time you get a new employer or job. That was riveting stuff there, boy. That was so good you better go back and see that if you missed it. No, seriously though, that's the first form that most high school students see, and if they're not familiar with it, it'll surprise them a little bit. So we just talk about how to fill that out. It's just easy and it's quick. All right, last time at the end of the W4 video, I said that I would be addressing the tax form 1040 this time, but I've since changed my mind on that. I've decided that before we get to the 1040, we need to first get to know the form W2. The W-2 form is what you will receive at the end of January, which reports your previous year's wages that you use to prepare your taxes. This is the main form that all employees will use to prepare their taxes in April. Your employer is required to send you the W-2 by no later than the 31st of January. However, in today's electronic world, it is now popular to issue the form electronically through an online employee portal. So check with your employer to know what you may expect and how to get your W-2. Now, let's get right to it. This is the Form W-2. It generally comes with a few copies of the same form. Back in the day, before electronic filing, different copies were necessary to be attached to various portions of a person's taxes. Now, with electronic filing, I don't think multiple forms are necessary, but still, we get them. On the left side of the form is all the personal information for both your employer and you, the employee. Box A is for your Social Security number. Box B is your employee's IEN number, which is basically, EIN means Employer Identification Number. It's like a Social Security number for a business. And then Box C is the employer's contact info. Box D is a control number for the employer's use. And then finally, Box D is your contact information as the employee. Now, moving on to the right side of the form, boxes 1, 3, 5, and 7 will have various financial entries depending on the type of incomes you earned during the year. Being a single high school student, boxes 1, 3, and 7 will likely be the same. And if you are an employee who gets tips, there might be an entry in box 7. Now that I think about it, the next video should be about publication 1244. For proper tip reporting instead of on the 1040, because if you don't report your tips properly, you will get stuck with the extra 7.5% taxes that your employer usually pays on your tips. So we'll probably need to do that publication 1240 next and talk about how to handle taxes in your job, or tips in your job. So we'll do that. The next video will be on the 1244. All right, so now in boxes 2, 4, 6, and 8, these numbers in these boxes will tell you how much in withholdings were taken out of your paychecks. Because you're a single high school student, you'll likely get the money on box 2 returned to you. The monies on lines 4 and 6 are your share of helping to pay for Social Security and Medicare insurance. The information in boxes 11 through 14 are informational, and they tell your tax preparer how to handle certain withholdings. These will likely all be blank until you get your first full-time employment as an adult with retirement and retirement savings and things like that, health insurance. And then finally in boxes 15 through 20, you'll have all the information for your state withholding and maybe even your city if you work in a city that has a city income tax. I'm in Michigan, so I'm just focusing on Michigan here. Currently, there are 20 cities in Michigan that levy an income tax for those who work there. And so those 20 cities currently have an excise tax on there for people who work in their cities. And so that's about all for the W-2 form. But remember, this form is required to be available to you by the 31st of January. So make sure that you talk to your boss and you know how you can expect to receive it. So that's all for today. Thank you for joining us. Be sure to hit like and share and all those things, and they're free to you to do. The next video will be about Form 1244 about tips. And if you don't collect tips, then you really don't need to watch that video. But you can still stop by and like it, because tips or liking is free to you, and I would appreciate it. Keep liking, keep subscribing, and share it with all your friends. And I look forward to seeing you next time. All right, thank you. Have a good one. Bye now.